The reality is that America is not God. America is not the end of the earth, and it doesn't matter what the Americans think. The final analysis is that America is not God. America is not the end of the earth.
Keep one fundamental thing in mind, is Howard Zinn warned that the establishment, though it may reward us, in order to maintain its control, if necessary, it will kill us. The essential idea that motivates white supremacy is that of maintaining control and dominance. And this establishment that maintains control and dominance will at one time reward you, Negro bourgeoisie, and when necessary to maintain its control, will also kill you. And I'm saying that because there's some of us who think because we are receiving certain rewards from this system, that these rewards will continue forever. But you have to recognize rewards are a mean of control as much as punishment. We talk about it in psychology as what? Positive reinforcement. Yeah. Bribing. Yeah. So you give positive reinforcement, good salaries or what have you, good house and so forth, and all of a sudden, those people who were gate rebels in the 1960s become neoconservatives in the 1980s. You know, they got the good life. They bought the idea. They think that this is going to go on forever. Have not studied the manipulation through rewards. And they went to college to study psychology. You know, and I've told you before how we are miseducated when we study psychology. We'll go right in there and study Skinnerian psychology and conditioning. And what have I told you before? We will not put ourselves in the place of the rat in the box. And we will not put ourselves in the place of the Pavlovian dog. We misidentify ourselves with the experimenter. But the actual condition of African people at this point is that of the Pavlovian dog and the Skinnerian rat, with others being at the controls and manipulating rewards and punishments and what we call negative reinforcements as a way of controlling our behavior. And when we talk about behavior in psychology, we not only talk about movement, but mental behavior as well, thinking in certain ways, seeing in certain ways, experiencing the world in certain ways. We include that too under behavior when we talk about behavior. And there are three fundamental ways you see of maintaining behavior in a conditioning situation: rewards, and then what we call positive reinforcement. Then you have negative reinforcement, which isn't the same as punishment. It's a situation where you release a person from a painful situation on the condition that they behave in a particular way. So in a sense, you put them in a painful situation. You say, well, I'll let you out of this if you do this. Or if they're in a painful situation, you say, well, I'll remove this situation if you behave in this way. This is what we call negative reinforcement. You see, a release from a negative situation, which is a form of reward. So I will release you from the ghetto if you say, I am an American and I love it. There is no racism. I don't feel dominated. Individualism is the highest ideology in the world. Okay, we'll give you a little extra pennies and you can live in a nice house. Get yourself a VCR and look at movies. And then those who belong to the underclass, we just can't change them. They, they're in a painful situation. They look like they even like it there. So for those, we have to administer what? Punishment. You see. But what do all of these have in common? Social control. Control. You see, so those of us who are being rewarded by the American system doesn't mean that we are any more out of the control of Europeans than those of us who are in the prisons. The game is the same. Social control, and until you decide as a people to end the capacity of whites to control your lives, we will always be subservient to them. And if one day we have to recognize that it becomes necessary to annihilate African people in order that the European stays in social control, then they will annihilate us. I don't care what kind of degrees you got and what kind of money you're making. The Jewish educated marched to the chambers with the uneducated. Yeah. You think you're going to hold up your degree when they march you to the chambers? I went to Harvard. Good, you go first. We'll give you that privilege. We'll put you in our most comfortable gas chamber.
What is good, my people? We are live back again with another live broadcast on the forecast. And I'll say, but beforehand, I guess, appreciate everybody for coming through. What's going on, Considra? My brother Amos Wilson said, back then they used to sell out for a VCR, you know what I'm saying? And it makes sense though, right? Because everything that you like is obsolete now, and your descendants is in the loop. But they had the VCR in the 70s or the 80s or whenever the VCR came out. But I know the young kids don't know what a VCR is. But and first of all, I gotta say this, shouts out to Considra in the building. Let me show this. We was on Considra show yesterday, channel yesterday. And every time we have a conversation with Considra, and I'll say it again later as more people come in, Considra has real conversations, and what's going on, Raw? And I guess over there is definitely going to be different and I guess more real conversations, and we did this yesterday, loving our black men. So, make sure y'all subscribe. Hold on, I should just do this, put it in the chat. So there is a Considra channel, and make sure y'all subscribe because we hopefully could come back next week, and while we was on there, the Smoothie Queen was on there, shouts out to the Smoothie Queen, the whole thing was fire, it was a great conversation. Let me see. Okay, hold on. I got it backwards. Let me see. Okay, now it's gonna freeze up. But yeah, okay. You said it's going to be next Friday at 8 o'clock. Okay. Definitely. We could do that. But yeah, the Smoothie Queen was on there, and so and I played this before, but support her. I didn't get a chance to yesterday because I'm not gonna lie, I fell asleep, and then I was busy all day today, and I'm not gonna lie, for me it's like Friday. For me, I know y'all got to go back to like slavery. I'm sorry, work tomorrow and stuff like that. That's why I'd be like, you know, I guess I could be working on, you know, what I'm supposed to be working on, but you know, this is the smoothie queen. So you know, shouts out to her.
Hey y'all, you got the smoothie queen here. How are you guys? Yes. Okay. So I'm a mobile business. So I gave him the card. Yeah, I gave him the card. So I have a card. No, not right now. I'm shopping with my baby. She wanted to come to the mall with her friend. Hey y'all. So you got the smoothie queen here. I wanted to come live to shout out one of the businesses in Fayetteville. They are located in the Cross Creek Mall, and they're called Popcorn Pleasers. So it's a new popcorn shop in Cross Creek Mall next to the Lens Crafters. Let me show y'all where I'm at. Lens Crafters is right here. They're right across. And right now I'm speaking with my new friend Troy, right?
I like to say this. She's the smoothie queen.
Yes.
I'm the popcorn king.
Okay.
You can't make this up.
Yeah, he making me a Chicago mix, y'all.
And the key word
Yes, definitely. Yes. Heavy rotation. Let's go. I'm all about supporting businesses because at the end of the day, this is what we need. Y'all, he out here doing this thing in Fayetteville and Cross Creek Mall. It's called Popcorn Pleasers. Black-owned business, which is
all right. And yo, so shouts out to the smoothie queen. You know, it was a great crowd. Okay, so next Saturday, my bad, I said that wrong. Next Saturday at 8:00. You know, so definitely make sure y'all, you know, subscribe and tune into that. And I definitely want to give a shout out to her and support her. You know, like I said, I'm gonna place my order like tomorrow because like, you know, popcorn, the smoothies, you know. I guess I don't know which one I want to try, but she had a lot of them that look good, so I'm gonna check that out, you know. But okay, so I'm coming on here, you know. Now, first and foremost, you know, I guess I will do this, right? Because I haven't talked about a lot of it a lot of times because I tried not to, even though I probably should, you know what I'm saying? And people have been sending me a lot of people that probably we should be knowing their names and what happened to them. But I haven't been showing it, trying to like, you know, do that because I know a lot of people like complain. But, you know, I do still want to show just some of the stuff that, you know, because it's just crazy out here. Like you can't take a day off and it happens all the time, you know. And after I do that, I want to just show you something else that I want to talk about because I don't want to talk about this and it be the only thing. But so let me start with this, you know. Okay. Now this brother here, right now, I did do a video about this. I talked about this a long time. I can't remember which one that I did, you know. But I did. Apparently, it was like 3 years ago, and so like the videos that I used to do, I did talk about this story, you know. And before I tell you like what happened, I guess this would be like an update to what happened, you know. And definitely shouts out to like you know, Cassandra and Black Magus and everybody else and my brother Anthony who be sending me, you know, videos. But this is I can't remember the video I did, so I'm gonna just play like one of the videos that I had in there just to kind of show you what happened to this brother. And if I remember it, I'll put it in like the description or something. But I don't know. I'll look for it. But I can't remember. I got like a lot. Yo, what's going on, my brother Anthony? Appreciate you coming through.
Deputy. Tonight, the coroner in Columbus, Ohio, says preliminary autopsy results show Casey Goodson was shot multiple times in the torso. And police have released this new 911 call made by his cousin who was inside the home.
What's going on there? I don't know. Somebody breaks in the house and shot my cousin.
His family says the 23-year-old was coming home from a dentist appointment and holding Subway sandwiches, not a gun, when he was fatally shot last Friday by a sheriff's deputy.
Now, I can't remember exactly what happened. And matter of fact, it's probably on that other channel I got in the descriptions. Like, if they ever shut this channel down, that's like where I put the other stuff. But they used to block my videos all the time. But it's probably over there. I forget what happened. But they like followed the brother for some, but all he had was like Subway sandwiches. They thought he was like the wrong person, identified the wrong person. He was walking in his house and then they just shot him and he had Subway sandwiches and they claimed that he had a gun or something like that.
Gun. He was fatally shot last Friday by a sheriff's deputy.
My only focus is justice. I eat, breathe, and sleep justice, and I won't stop.
This week, Ohio's Attorney General refused to take over the investigation, criticizing local police for waiting 3 days to ask for help. Now, federal authorities, including the FBI, are reviewing the case. Authorities say SWAT team members had just finished an unsuccessful search for an unrelated suspect when Goodson drove by waving a gun. The deputy, Jason Mead, later confronted Goodson outside his home.
Now, they say he drove by waving the gun, but he did not have a gun. And this is what they're saying on the news, you know. And they didn't say according, and what they're saying is according to the officer, but they didn't say according to the officer. It was like, yeah, he was riding by, you know, with a gun, but he had a Subway sandwich, and I doubt he was like waving it around at the cops, you know. But they identified him as the wrong person anyway.
Later confronted Goodson outside his home. Police say there was a verbal exchange and that the deputy shot and killed Goodson. Mead wasn't wearing a body camera and wasn't required to.
In the end, Casey's family wants answers. They want answers quickly.
Neither the sheriff's office nor its union has commented on behalf of the deputy.
NBC.
Man, let me see. Was it another one? Yeah. It's like this. I didn't have this one because this is recent, and I did this one like years ago. But
attorney will hold a news conference to release more information about the case and their next legal steps. Since the civil case is delayed until the criminal trial takes place.
Well, the thing is, they was riding in the street or something. That's why I wish I can remember. I just didn't have time to look through all of my videos. I'm pretty sure it's on the other channel. I'm pretty sure it's like one of the latest ones. I'm pretty sure because then I got the brother face on the picture, I think, you know. But anyway, he was like riding past them and then they followed him or something. And then he was walking in his house and then they just shot him, you know, and they claimed that he was waving a gun and he had a gun and he pulled it on him, but he didn't have no gun. He had like a Subway sandwiches, like literally Subway sandwiches.
Place last Thursday, that case was continued. A new date has not yet been set. Today, I spoke with them about a graphic photo taken the day of Goodson's death.
December 4th, 2020, a Franklin County Sheriff's deputy shot and killed Casey Goodson Jr. And now, for the first time, the 23-year-old's mother and her attorney are sharing this photo with NBC4.
It's a picture of bloody AirPods that were recovered from the scene of Casey's murder. And that evidence is important because...
Oh, yeah, that's what happened because they was telling him something, but he couldn't hear them. Because he had headphones in or something. Like, it was crazy. The whole thing was just great. But it was like obvious. One of the obvious ones, you know. But it's also how they manipulate and use their media, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, that's just what they do, you know. That's who they are.
The public needs to know just how heinous this crime was. Had we released the information about the AirPods after the shooting, the city would have been up in arms.
You learned about the AirPods when and thought what?
The day of the murder, the evening of the murder, and knew that Casey had been hunted and ambushed. He never heard his attacker or seen his attacker coming.
The shooting happened near Ferris Road and Estates Place in North Columbus. That day, investigators told reporters a U.S. Marshals task force went to the area in search of a suspect, not Goodson. However, they said Goodson drove past them and waved a gun. We learned Deputy Jason Mead, who has since taken...
No, somebody like, oh yeah, the police right there, let me wave my gun. Like, the only time you're gonna wave your gun at the police is if you, like, you know what I'm saying, as my brother Bakari would put it, if you're trying to hear like bagpipes, you know what I'm saying, or something. But oh yeah, he just rolled past, had his gun, you know what I'm saying, put his Subway sandwiches down and picked up his gun, waved it at the police and kept driving. Like, you know, but anyway.
Early retirement from the Franklin County Sheriff's Office followed Goodson and said the 23-year-old pointed a gun at him. The shooting happened as Goodson entered his family's home. Inside, several family members, including a 10, 5, 4, 3-year-old, and Goodson's grandmother.
My grandson just got shot in the back when he came in the house, and I don't know if he's okay because it's still out there.
I'm sorry, what just happened?
My grandson just got shot.
The bullets went through the screen door, Goodson's keys, and the main door to the house. Meade's attorney spoke with NBC4 December 2nd of last year, the day his client turned himself in after an indictment was made public.
He was maybe at that point 15 to 20 feet away screaming, "Show me your hands, show me your hands, show me your hands." At one point, Mr. Goodson's left hand was trying to get into the door. At one point, his shoulders went down, my client indicated. My client thought he was going to...
Now, you see he was opening the door with his keys, you know what I'm saying? But also, that was the thing I probably didn't mention, though. Like, they're not going to ever change. Like, the thing is, like, our awareness has to change, you know, or recognize that, like, you have to be aware of your surroundings, like, no matter what, because that's just the environment that we are in. And I get it. Sometimes you, like, just keep one in instead of two, you know what I'm saying? One of your ears so you could hear, you know what I'm saying, if somebody running up behind you or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But they, you know, the police was going to do what they was going to do, you know what I'm saying? Because he had Subway sandwiches in one hand and his keys opening the door with the other. And he said, oh, he looked like he had something. He was shoulders dropped. Like, you know how when you open your door, you like reach for the door handle and, you know.
to comply and then turn around and do that. But as he turned around, the gun was raised towards my client and pointed at my client, giving him no other option.
Pictures from the scene show Subway sandwiches Goodson had for his family. Meade's attorney, Mark Collins, stands by a previous statement he released to NBC4 that at no time did Deputy Meade mistake a sandwich for a gun, and that there has been confirmation that our client gave verbal commands for Mr. Goodson to drop the gun. Collins has not shared details about that confirmation.
Drop the gun. We told him, like, yeah, what gun though, you know?
Investigators said they did find a gun on Goodson, but wouldn't tell us where they discovered it.
Do you have a picture of the gun, of the body with the gun or anything of the sort?
No, we don't have a picture of the gun with the body. What we know is that the AirPods were bloody.
Goodson did have a concealed carry license. His family says he wanted to be a concealed carry weapons instructor.
Jason Meade has said that, in his statement, said that he shot at a command at Casey and Casey ignored him. So by his own admission, he was ignored. He was ignored because Casey had AirPods in his ear, if there was a command that was yelled. So it's time the world knows.
Tamala Payne feels many leaders who once said they supported her family have not helped in their quest for justice.
How can you show up to his...
Yeah, like that dude, Lee Merritt and all of them, you know what I'm saying? I think if you look back, that's probably the lawyer Lee Merritt who was out there like, yeah, we got to get justice for this young brother. You know what I'm saying? But listen, like, this happens, but we still don't even understand, like, that this happens so much. And that's why I like, people used to, like, actually, like, email me for families like, yo, thank you for, like, getting it out, because a lot of times they always going to skew the message, like, how they just put like, oh yeah, he went by waving the gun at the police. They're not gonna know unless you like go through digging through each single thing. You know what I'm saying? To get the truth, or as close to the truth as you can through their reporting. But and then of course, like with the people witnesses, like, you know what I'm saying. But anyway, like that kind of stuff, like, you know, I think it is important that we know who our brothers are, like that, the situation that we in, but, you know.
Funeral and say that you're here and you stand with the family.
Yeah, I don't think he even had a gun though. That's what I'm saying. Like they're saying he had a gun. You know what I mean? He was like, "Oh yeah, well he did have a gun on him." How would they know that if he had keys and he first of all he had it concealed? It would mean it would have been concealed, so they wouldn't have seen it in the first place. Like they say he was like waving it, but he also had like sandwiches in one hand and his keys in the other, and they don't have no evidence whatsoever. If you be like, yeah, you have some kind of evidence that he had this gun on him, you know what I'm saying? They haven't like really produced it. Maybe they have since I watched it, but
Nobody's standing with the family. Nobody's doing what's right by the family. This is Mayor Ginther's city. He has power in this city. You have a young 23-year-old black man who did everything they asked him to do. You want to carry a gun, get a license. He got a license. You want to drive trucks, get a license. He obeyed the law. He was a law-abiding citizen. He did everything that was asked of him to do by the law.
And by the way, he was like, if you were like trucks, you're not really supposed to have a gun, so he probably may not have, you know. But even if he did, he had legally, you know, I thought there was like, if you're American, you get the Second Amendment, right? If you are American, though, right? You know. But this is what happened now. You know what I'm saying? This is breaking. Let me see. 2 days ago, you know. And shouts out to
there's no probability matter. The court accepts this conclusion and finds that there's no probability of the jury agreeing. You are hereby excused from further jury service on this matter.
Judge David Young declaring a mistrial in the murder case of Jason Mead.
The former deputy
not
killed
guilty,
Casey Goodson Jr. in December of 2020.
The jury returned deadlocked after 3 days of deliberations, and we have team coverage of today's decision.
NBC4's Anna Hoffman has been in the courtroom.
Now I'm asking you, would you want them on your jury selection pool? You know what I'm saying? Like, as everything is equal, you know what I'm saying? Would you want fools like this on your jury selection pool? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, like, some things cannot be negotiated. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you see it two different ways, you know what I'm saying? You know.
For the entirety of this trial. Anna, we'll start with you on the reaction when the mistrial was announced.
Jen and Jared, Jason Mead's face looked disappointed when the judge announced the mistrial. It was the end of an at times confusing day in the courtroom, with proceedings ending around 2:30 this afternoon. Defense attorney Mark Collins says this is all just a part of the process. Take a look at your screen. This was Jason Mead's reaction to the judge's decision. Everyone in the courtroom looked a little indifferent, not sure what to think because there was no definitive answer. We did not have the chance to talk to Mead, but
by the way, that is a definitive answer. So
Collins says he is thankful to the jury for approaching this with fairness and giving it their all. Remember, this jury has sat through days of testimony and 3 days of deliberations, having to restart 3 times due to alternate jurors stepping in. Right before the judge declared the mistrial, he read a note from the jury saying, "We cannot come to a unanimous decision on all 3 charges." Collins says he has dealt with a mistrial before.
That's why I'm like, yo, it was like, yo, how can there is no way to, like, maybe there is, okay, maybe you could be a judge, or like the judge who was in Kentucky, or Judge Olu Stevenson, who wouldn't let it be an all-black or all-white jury for a black defendant. But oh yeah, he got kicked off the thing and we ain't do nothing about it, you know what I'm saying? Or like Aramis Ayala, who tried to end the death thing in Florida, but then they took all her cases, even though she was an elected official, and then they tried to take her rank, and they, oh yeah, by the way, they charged Olu Stevens too. But like, I don't understand how, you know what I'm saying, we'd be like, yeah, their courts, yeah, is there, you know, like why would you ever think that you would ever get something other than the consistent thing that has been present for over, you know, some would say 2,000 years, but at least 250.
And knows this was a difficult task.
I couldn't have much more respect for the jurors and the effort that they gave. I think you guys could see the emotions on them and the frustration and stuff. And so these are difficult things.
And knows this was a difficult task.
I couldn't have much more respect for the jurors and the effort that they gave. I think you guys could see the emotions on them and the frustration and stuff. And so these are difficult things. But other than that, I really don't know much more than you guys.
To add to the confusion, the judge originally announced a mistrial, then resented that earlier this morning. Collins says he's not thinking too much into this, although he's never seen that before because this is a complex case. Meade did have family members in the courtroom every day. I watched some of them shake hands with the defense team at the end. I also reached out to Special Prosecutor Tim Merkel to see any information about the retrial. He says they're reassessing their options and have no further comment at this time. Local for you with the Frank.
Yeah, I mean, and you know, and that's the thing, you know, in their systems, it doesn't even matter. Like, if you, that's what I'm saying, is a system. Like, they can just, you can insert, you know what I'm saying, who we feel is American first black person, you know what I'm saying, or I'm not black, and anti-racist black people, or all that stuff, you know what I'm saying, like, but you know, that's just how it goes, you know, in their court systems, in my opinion, you know. Now, let me see here, you know. I don't know if I was supposed to have this one or not. I don't know if I was supposed to have this one, but we'll see.
Assault and bias crime charges after an incident in Old Town. And tonight we're hearing from the man who was attacked. Thanks for joining us at 11. I'm John Adams. It happened yesterday afternoon. The man stabbed with scissors and bitten as the suspect shouted racial slurs against him. Sydney Dorner spoke.
Oh yeah, that's what I was saying, because also like being like aware of your surroundings, which is an important thing, because stuff is crazy out here, so you want to be aware of your surroundings. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, like you only said you was gonna just take my fur this time, you know what I'm saying, but no, you still ate my child. Probably not, you know what I'm saying, it's up to their discretion, but it doesn't matter, they can try them like 1,000 times, you know what I'm saying. It's just, is their court systems, you know what I mean, like and then they could just be like, oh yeah, well look, it's a black person there, you know what I'm saying, but you have to have the not a black mentality in there. And all they have to do is just have enough to muddy up the. It's probably a mistrial because it was a couple black people like, no, this is wrong, this is crazy. You know what I'm saying? There's probably a few black people in there. It's like, I remember one time I got put on jury duty, and this brother, he hit he went to the ABC store, you know what I'm saying? But he was driving some kind of like a bigger truck, you know what I'm saying, where you had to have a special license. And like, on his way, like he wasn't drunk or nothing, he just went to the ABC store because he, I guess, just got off, and he like tapped somebody's stuff and put a little dent on it, and they wanted to get his brother, like, I don't know, I can't even remember how many weekends in jail. They wanted to take his license, which is his livelihood, you know what I'm saying. It, like, if I wasn't there to be like, no, like, you can't take that man license, you know what I'm saying, like, they would have did that, you know what I'm saying, like. And that was the first time I was like, man, I guess I was glad I was on there for this one. Because I ain't gonna lie, if it was the other way around, I'd be like, oh, are you buying him? Like, nope. And then the white boy did something, like, yeah, he guilty as hell, yo. Like, burn him, you know. But anyway.
With him to hear his side of the story and how he plans to find justice.
A 42-year-old man is now facing bias crime charges after a disturbing incident right here in Old Town. Saturday, Portland Fire and Rescue responded to a call of a man lighting clothing on fire at Northwest Gleason and 6th Avenue. Peyton Thomas says he was visiting a friend who works nearby when they noticed the man.
About a third of the way into the block that we were on, he stopped and started lighting a fire,
The man then started following an interracial couple.
jogging after them like he's really trying to attack them. And,
Oh yeah, I guess I was supposed to show it, but later I guess. But I
and
think
the guy,
I don't know.
thankfully,
I got it.
turned around and looked and saw him, and him and the female took off running.
The man then started coming after Peyton and his friend.
And by the time I looked up, he was too close to me to, put my hands out to stop him or punch him to keep him off me. So the only thing I could do is resort to my military training and self-defense combat, and grabbed him and slammed him to the ground.
When police arrived, they saw the man assaulting Peyton, cutting him with scissors and biting him while yelling racial slurs.
And I felt the bite. I didn't see the scissors at that time. I was just concentrating on the bite. But then as I'm reaching for his head so I can, subdue him, that's when I see the scissors. But when I reached for the scissors, he tried to stab me like 2 or 3 times.
Portland police arrested the man, Corey A. Nesensen, saying he later spit on one of the officers. Nesensen is facing felony assault, bias crime, harassment, and reckless burning charges.
I'm going to pursue this to the end because, he clearly was after somebody of our color. God made us this way.
Sydney Dorner, KGW News.
It was clearly after someone of it. Yeah, that's why you gotta be prepared while you out there on these streets. And then my brother Black Mega sent me this one. I'm gonna play these last ones, and then I'm gonna get to what I want to say.
September of 2023. Now his body was just found chopped up in a freezer in an apartment in Brooklyn, New York. This apartment that he was found in is the apartment of a white American couple. This couple is Heather Steins, 45 years of age. She's the wife, and Nicholas McGee.
Now, I already know the question that my sister Cassandra probably has, but anyway.
45 years of age is the husband. Now, they just found his body in his freezer this past Monday, which will be January of 2024. Let's just say it's in January 2024 because I don't know when this video is coming out. So the NYPD got a tip-off of a body being in a freezer in an apartment. Now, this apartment is located on Nordstrom Avenue in Brooklyn. So the police responded. When they got there, they said that they seen a refrigerator that was suspiciously taped up. The woman of the house, Heather Steins, was trying to prevent them from opening and inspecting this freezer. So Heather Steins, she was immediately arrested when she tried to stop the officers from looking inside this freezer, okay? Now, when the officers went into this...
It sounded like he was trying to save an interracial couple or something. It must have reminded... the dude was chasing him. Maybe he was just watching him chase the interracial couple. But if you watching a dude chase somebody else, I ain't say nothing, but if you watching him, how could the dude run up on you and get so close that you know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, well maybe he's just saying that, you know what I'm saying, where he just was whipping his ass and then the dude bit him and stuff. I don't know. So I ain't gonna say nothing because I don't know.
Freezer, they found body parts inside black plastic bags in both the fridge and the freezer. And then they removed these body parts from this apartment for DNA, okay? He's been missing since September of 2023. Now his body was just found chopped up in a freezer in an apartment in Brooklyn, New York. This apartment that he was found in is the apartment of a white American couple. This couple is Heather Steins, 45 years.
Okay, yeah, I already played this. How did my brother, maybe they drugged him and kidnapped him. They put chloroform on his face. But how did it? But I was gonna say that though, Raw. This is European culture, you know what I'm saying? Like who does that? You know what I'm saying? Want to keep body parts and eat people, you know what I'm saying? That's another book, or at least the first part of the book that people maybe should read is The Delectable Negro, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, they keep male stuff. But check this out though, right? At first they didn't even charge the white bitch or the white bitch, you know what I'm saying? She eating, sitting there, got a freezer in her head,
but
and
first,
I can't call her a white bitch.
Disturbing find: bags of human remains discovered inside an apartment refrigerator. The shocking crime now unraveling in Brooklyn. Good to have you with us. I'm Adam Cooperstein. Police say It was a Crime Stoppers tip that led investigators to that apartment inside a building on Nostrand Avenue on Monday. News 4's Chris Jose live in Flatbush now in Brooklyn with what a woman who lives there, Chris, told police after finding that in the fridge.
Right, Adam, and to be clear here, there does not appear to be...
Yeah, Cassandra, that's what I got from the story. He was chasing an interracial couple, which I'm pretty sure was I can't speculate. I'm pretty sure it was a black and white couple. But how was he watching him chase them and then the dude still get so close up on you? He probably, unless you just like, I don't know how he just let him get up on him like that, you know. But anyway,
any kind of threat or danger to the public. According to law enforcement sources, this was a dispute over drugs between two people. You can see the crime scene unit remains on the scene. The medical examiner right now in the process of piecing the body back together for further examination. NYPD made the gruesome discovery on Monday at an apartment right here on Nostrand Avenue in Flatbush. Body parts, including someone's head, stuffed in a refrigerator. An anonymous tip to Crime Stoppers leading police to the apartment. Law enforcement sources telling News 4 a woman who lives there let officers in, and they immediately noticed a taped up refrigerator. Sources say cops arrested that woman when she became combative. Police say when officers opened the fridge, they found...
So she became combative.
Opened the fridge, they found black plastic bags containing body parts. The woman now in police custody and undergoing psychiatric evaluation, telling investigators the body belonged to a local drug dealer who had a dispute with her husband last September. Law enforcement sources...
Now look how the news named this. Brooklyn woman claims husband killed drug dealer, stored body in refrigerator. Right? Not like, oh, this crazy couple killed somebody and stuff. Like, they called the dude a drug dealer on the New York news, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, well, you know, they killed a drug dealer and stored his body, so, you know, it's a drug dealer though. But I mean, when you look at that though, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you understand why they say little subtle stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? It's for a reason, you know. And they arrested her after she became combative, but they didn't like immediately charge her. They're talking about some mental evaluation. Like, she's practicing European culture. You know what I'm saying? Like we need the damn mental evaluation. Like, because I'm gonna just assume that brother just got chloroformed and that's how he ended up in that apartment. But I'm just saying, when we're talking about being aware of your surroundings, you know what I'm saying? Like, that means all of your surroundings, you know what I'm saying? And who you hang around and who's in your surroundings. But anyway.
With her husband last September. Law enforcement sources adding the woman claims her husband killed the man and stored the body. She also told detectives she did not witness the killing and her husband is currently in prison in Virginia. According to law enforcement sources,
So he in prison down here, so I wish I knew somebody in there.
Investigators have identified the victim as Kausheen Gelzer. His distinctive tattoos helping with the ID process. He was previously arrested for dice throwing and also assaulting a police officer. Unclear.
So these are just straight thugs, you know what I'm saying? On top of being Europeans. And so, okay, so then they finally charged her. All right, so they charged her later. I guess after her mental evaluation. Yeah, she's normal. She practiced European culture. She's good.
Woman is waking up behind bars this morning and facing charges after officers discovered a man's dismembered body inside her freezer.
That gruesome discovery happened on Monday as a result of a Crime Stoppers tip. And this morning, we have learned that police have charged Heather Steins. She's expected to face a judge later on today.
Eyewitness News reporter Phil Tate is live in Flatbush this morning with the latest details. Phil, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Shantae. Police tell us that 45-year-old Heather Steins has officially been charged with the concealment of a human corpse and is expected to be arraigned later today. Now, this is a really bizarre story that we've been following all week as police came to this apartment building just right behind me for a wellness check, finding Steins in that apartment, but then also finding a human corpse in a taped-up fridge. Now, at the time of the wellness check, we know that Steins was taken into custody and that this was all called in from a Crime Stoppers tip, which led police to the third-floor apartment. Now, it is there where they would find the unthinkable, a dismembered body, including a head and limbs. Well, detectives believe this body had been in the fridge for several months and was a 40-year-old man involved in a drug dispute. Now, an autopsy will reveal the idea.
Well, ain't nothing gonna happen to him. That's the thing. He's gonna be fine. That's the problem, What are you gonna do, They think I got that much power, then that's cool.
Identity of this body, and as we learn more about the
I wish I
suspect,
did
Hunt
have
had
that much
3
power.
open warrants for petty larceny from
I
2022.
will one day too,
And
by
this was
the
at the
way.
time of her
You
arrest.
just ain't gonna know when,
And well, for
so.
neighbors, they're simply stunned.
She don't bother nobody, but I know she smoke back and forth to get her stuff. It surprised me up to now.
Yeah, and so many questions.
I know brothers that is getting their life together, and talking to the youth, and I encourage other people to do the same, you know what I mean? So that they are aware, so we don't even got to go to that whole point in the first place, All I can say is, I'd rather for you to come home and we have to deal with whatever repercussions, or consequences, than the other way around, you know what I mean? Now, this was an old one, and let me tell you, I got so many of them that like the video is gone and I can't even remember the name, but I try not to show them as much as I can because people get squirmish, but I think you should be because this is such a constant thing and we think that it's not. And this is why it's important for you to teach your children to be aware of their surroundings and teach them like self-defense, teach them how to fight or at least have stamina or something, get them exercise and teach them a skill or something that could possibly save them because there are a lot of crazy people in the world, but let's look at this other one, this brother here, because speaking of the interracial couple,
Texas father.
That's what I'm saying. They don't know he was a drug dealer. They don't even know. They just found out who he was. They just know it's somebody in the freezer. You know what I'm saying? But that's what the dude said. So that's what they reported. And that's what they named the video as. You know what I'm saying? Like as the news organization. A drug. So he killed drug. Chopped his body up and put it in the freezer to do who knows what to it. You know what I'm saying? Or how many times that this has happened. Because they already got a freezer in there, I guess, for that reason. But whatever.
Who vanished last November. His family found his body nearly 3 weeks.
This is crazy, right?
In the
I'm not
strange,
even gonna
mysterious
play
death
all
of a man
of it.
named Alfred Wright. We've been covering this all week. He's the Texas father of
This
3
was a
who
while
vanished
ago.
last November. His family found his body nearly 3 weeks later. That was.
I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm gonna just highlight this here. You know what I'm saying?
Texas father of 3 who vanished last November. His family found his body nearly 3 weeks later. That was 2 weeks after local authorities gave up searching in the exact area where ultimately his body was found by his own family. The local sheriff told him there was no sign of foul play. The family is alleging a murder
I think
and
I showed
cover-up.
this
They're
already,
disputing
I
nearly
think. I don't
everything. The
know. I
official
can't
account from the
remember.
cause of death to the condition of his body to the notion that Wright, with no history, they say, of drug use, let alone drug abuse, sprinted off into the Texas scrub forest one day, stripped down to his boxers, and gave himself a lethal dose. Now, in addition to all that, there is this, an ordinary everyday item found near Alfred Wright's body that in this case could be some sort of a calling card. Deborah Farrick tonight is keeping him honest.
On the bramble-covered trail not far from Alfred Wright's body, volunteer searchers immediately noticed something out of the ordinary.
The one thing that really stood out when we first found the body, we couldn't explain the dime. Why is there a silver dime laying on top of the ground? We couldn't figure that one out.
It's unlikely the dime fell out of Alfred's pocket.
I'm trying to show the key parts, but I can't remember
The
though.
East Town one, but Brenda Chastain.
When I heard that a dime
was found close. Years. She broke it off not long ago, in part, she says, because weird things.
All right, so it was like I'm not gonna play this one because, like I said, I wasn't gonna play this one, but it was weird, some weird stuff going on, and it was some sick stuff, and then they just make some CNN documentary about the brother and keep it pushing. But shouts out to my brother. I think I showed this before, but a while ago, Then also I'll play this one. This was another one. I think you sent this one to me, Cassandra.
Motivated murder, no life term. I'm going to break down the details, put it up for a mass. Hell of a story. In Texas, term from the judge, which could actually set him free after serving about half of the time. Powell was found guilty in the murder of 37-year-old San Antonio resident Ibrahim Malik Surez, who was gunned down during an argument at a gas station in Texas on April 9th, 2021.
All right, and this is a part of what I'm saying, like not underestimating your enemy. Obviously, they have done things well for us to be in a situation where we all over the place, in a very tough situation. So never underestimate the situation that you're in. No matter like what you talk about, it's about being prepared for yourself. You know what I'm saying? And don't think that sociopaths who, live off of like throwing babies out with bathwater won't do what we hesitate to do, which is like, a part of what happens. This is like because you said talking about jungle justice, that's the only way that they're keeping it going is like by using bloodshed. Like, oh yeah, you get out of line, then we're gonna shoot you, arrest you, bomb you, or invade you. You know what I'm saying?
District Judge Frank J. Castro handed down the sentence on the 7th of February, requiring Powell to serve at least 20 years for the crime before he becomes eligible for parole. Prosecutors said Powell killed Surez in cold blood, after which he called 911 and told the dispatcher, N-word, threatened my life.
Always take it as a threat to your life. And because we have too many, like, I don't want us to have any more casualties. It's just, unfortunately, we have so many casualties for nothing. Like, we just have nothing, no justice for them. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, nothing. It's just too many casualties. And take that into account when operating. You know what I'm saying? There is no mercy. There is no negotiation. There is no explanation. There is no education that can save you from European culture. You know what I'm saying? It's only action that can save you from European culture. And that's, being aware of your surroundings and being able to protect yourself at all times,
Christopher Powell rolled his window down and shot and killed a man who was walking away. Baxter County DA Joe D. Gonzalez said in a statement to the San Antonio Express News, quote, the jury told us that Mr. Surez died needlessly and provided justice for Ibrahim Surez.
All right. Listen, so I'm going to talk about something else and before I get off of here, okay? Now, I want to show you a couple of things, right? Now, this is what this sister said. Now, check this out, right? Because we talked about it, you know what I'm saying? And by the way, it's probably too late to get prepared because, like, I haven't done enough either, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm still working on getting my clone chip uninstalled out of me, you know what I'm saying? But it's already probably too late. But, just in case it's not, it's time to, like, prepare because we were saying how even if you look at the prices for, like, for rent, you know what I'm saying? Or if you look at the prices when you go to the grocery store, Like, it's not by accident, you know what I mean? And when we saying like, because you never know like what is up. I understand we worried about the new world order, but we haven't even come close to catching up to the old world order or stopping or changing the old world order yet, you know? And all I can say is like use all the time that you have to prepare yourself, but it's probably too late because we're gonna be thirsty and hungry and like outside in the cold, right? So you know, check this out, right? Because I literally see like on jobs and stuff, you see a bunch of like fools that can't even talk English, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then the ones that can act like they can't and don't do a damn thing. And then you be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get the Mexicans to do it. But they do like a terrible job, you know, they hurry up and get it done, and like, you know what I'm saying, they don't do a thorough job. They like, oh no, hablo. They hablo, like, you know what I'm saying? But they act like they know hablo, you know.
At first it was in Harvey, now it's in Chicago, literally, G. They making all these people get out. Every last one of these people get out. Look how they just started and gave them people $1,500. A $1,500 voucher. Baby, it's a lot of kids stay in this mug and everything. They bogus as hell. I ain't gonna lie. This is sick. Look at these people. They bogus as hell. They got the people gas out there and everything, y'all. They done boarded it up. What I just don't understand is how they can get these fucking migrants $9,000 in the state of Illinois, but look what they doing to our own people.
So as you saw there, apparently,
Now I'm gonna let her say what she's about
black
to
people
say.
were being put out of that apartment building, and it sounds like she was saying it was kind of on the spot, and they were given $1,500 to relocate. And so she was upset, basically saying, why are they doing this to black people and allowing, you know, the migrants to come in? Now, I was curious. I didn't see anything officially on the news, not that they're the, you know, the source of truth. And so I went and looked into a copious amount of comment sections. And one particular guy was like, oh, I work for that company. And those people weren't put out. They were given new apartments. But a lot of other people were like, no, I'm familiar with the situation as well. And they were only given $1,500 to relocate. You're lying. They're not getting new apartments. And so a lot of other people were saying, well, we know what they're trying to do. They're moving them out so they can put the migrants in. So,
all right. And look, I wouldn't be surprised, you know what I'm saying? And I guess you will see how that situation is. Yo, what's going on, my brother Bakari? Yeah, I don't think they send them Jones out no more. But yeah, that's just what the sister say, right? Now, all right, now check this out, right? This is another video my brother sent me. But listen to what he's saying, because I want to play something for you real quick.
I'm Admiral Rachel Levine. This Black History Month, I'm pleased to partner with OMH in advancing better health through better understanding for Black communities. Climate change is having a disproportionate effect on the physical and mental health of Black communities.
Like, so they're saying like, yeah, more sun is like, but I would venture to say that, you know, their climate is, you know what I'm saying, disproportionately affecting us in our mental health and physical state.
Black Americans are more likely than white Americans to live in areas
like
and
a
housing
hour.
that increase their susceptibility to climate-related health issues. And 65% of Black Americans report feeling anxious about climate change's impact. Through our Office of Climate Change and Health Equity and the Office of Environmental Justice, we're working with providers and community leaders to identify innovative approaches that empower communities to address the health consequences linked to climate change. Visit hhs.gov.
All right, so he's sitting here telling you, well, you know, climate change is the biggest, you know, the sun getting, and I'm not saying they're not killing the planet. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is, you know, I doubt that more sunlight is going to disproportionately affect us than them. But what is affecting our mental health, and like literally, like I'm not even saying like as far as like some theoretical thing, you know. I'm just saying like things like, you know, in Flint, because I talked about it with the lead in the water. And I don't know if,
So you
'cause
think
I,
you know?
I didn't get a chance to like go all to like show. I showed a part of it, but let me see. Let me play
At
this.
10, a $25 million settlement reached in connection to the Flint water crisis. Trey Harris breaks down who is getting a share.
Maybe even in the world. No, it's gonna be hella black people in the world. It's always gonna be black people because they can't. I don't think like that's my belief. This is my, you know what I'm saying, my belief that they can you know, actually like literally really like wipe us out, you know what I'm saying? They would go extinct before we would. It's just the problem is like we would always fight to be part like around them, you know what I'm saying? It's always gonna be a war. And then we just happen to beat them up every time. We just don't fight for the right things these days, you know.
$1 million settlement reached in connection to the Flint water crisis. Trey Harris breaks down who is getting a share of that money.
And this is some bit of good news, not good enough, but it is, in my eyes personally, Veolia admitting they did something wrong.
A second contractor has reached a $25 million settlement for its role in the Flint's lead-contaminated water. The litigation agreement will include $1,500 payments to individual miners, reaching about 45,000 residents in Flint.
Said they're gonna give minors who have you know, what that white dude was talking about with the mental and whatever health. And they're saying that they, even though they didn't hold these fools liable or get justice in their courts, you know what I'm saying? Because if you can imagine that. So they're saying even after that though is a $25 million settlement to be split up amongst all of the residents in this area that was affected by it. You know what I'm saying?
We have a large population of underbanked residents investing that money in themselves in the future. We want the people to be able to maximize these dollars, put it toward property. That
Well, I think the thing is though, Raw, they are doing stuff that is destructive to the planet. Like if you take out too much or you destroy too much, like you destroy too much of the planet, it'll make it so sick to eliminate the virus, I think, you know what I'm saying? Like, in my opinion, you know, it's my belief. And I think that they are doing a lot of destruction that would make the earth sick. They damn sure made us sick, you know what I'm saying? So I do think that like they just call it like, but you know what I'm saying? Like, even if it has to heat up enough to where you got to have a certain amount of melanins to survive, then so be it. You know what I'm saying? Earth, like, yo, y'all fools ain't gonna do nothing. Let me handle it. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, y'all just gonna sit there and drink poison water.
future. We want the people to be able to maximize these dollars, put it toward property that you want to buy or homes that you want to live in.
Veolia North America, being partially held responsible for the water crisis, maintaining its innocence, claiming government officials are responsible for the lead contamination. The company, hired as a consultant, arguing it made good recommendations about solutions but were ignored by government officials at the time. Something one Flint mother says just isn't a good enough excuse.
Today is day number 3,569 in the ongoing Flint water crisis. We're up on a decade here, and 25 million sure sounds like a lot. And it is a lot from a company that still claims that they're innocent.
The lead contaminated water is blamed for causing.
I guess Melissa's finna get this check. Yeah, I feel you, Rob. I feel you.
Learning disabilities in many children and other medical problems, which is why Melissa Mays feels more needs to be done.
What price tag would you put?
I wouldn't ask them for advice on like health benefits of the sun. You know, imagine her like, oh yeah, this is terrible. Or maybe it's not, you know what I'm saying? Maybe we'll get the vitamin D we needed the whole time, you know what I'm saying? Maybe that's what's going on.
Still claims that they're innocent.
The lead contaminated water is blamed for causing learning disabilities in many children.
See, this is what this fool was just talking about with, like, yeah, but they're the damn global crisis, you know what I'm saying?
Learning disabilities in
For
many
us.
children and other medical problems, which is why Melissa Mays feels more needs to be done.
What price tag would you put on your brains, your kids' futures, the people that we've lost? There's no amount. Is it enough? Not by far.
Mayor Sheldon Neely says the latest settlement is still only a portion of the large collective pot of $655 million of what could.
But this is anti-capitalism, so maybe we'll get some of this drip down money. We always at the bottom of the trickle down. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we'll get they'll trickle down to the black people in Michigan that's suffering. Maybe. I don't know.
Be owed and distributed to residents.
We're moving toward the completion of the litigation.
Listen, if they make the sun heat up into where people with the right amount of
Reporting in
melanin,
Flint, Trey Harris, WNEM TV5.
I'm with it. You at least still have to worry about the people of color, I guess, but that's good enough. You know what I'm saying? They just, you know what I'm saying? They go whatever way the wind goes, you know what I'm saying? But I would say when that happens, just remember what happened with you know what I'm saying, what they doing with this immigration stuff now. I'm just saying, when the sun heats up. But listen to this, now speaking of Flint, you know what I'm saying, like, look who, and I guess I should have looked for it and not play his video, but it's all good, you know what I'm saying? So
against Hillary.
Right.
Champion Bernie. I had a t-shirt. My kids had
now this is the lawyer who represented the victims who they talking about this lawsuit that they filed that, they're talking about is not good enough, it's not good enough. And this is the lawyer who represented them.
Bernie ran against Hillary.
Right.
Champion Bernie. I had a t-shirt. My kids had t-shirts.
Yeah.
We were all Bernie people.
I like
My
Bernie.
wife
I
was
like
one of the
Bernie.
Bernie women that you probably slept with.
Bernie.
So I like Bernie. In 2016, I'm like in Flint, Michigan, fighting for these kids. I'm spending time there. Nobody wants to be there. I'm there every week.
All right. Put it up full mass. Let me give you the background. Interesting story, obviously. Corey Stern, the New York attorney who is representing thousands of Flint, Michigan children who suffered lead poisoning from drinking contaminated water from the city's Flint River, has come under fire for recently resurfaced comments made about the city during a 2018 on an episode of The Race. In the episode, Stern uses the word to describe the city during the conversation to
that I'm born
and raised. He recommended structuring the settlement money in a way that pays the young clients over their lifetime so that they have some steady stream of income in regards.
So on this podcast, he was sitting there talking about, how we're going to give them this reparations, you know what I'm saying, for this dirty water. These minors who got mental problems or health problems because drinking water with lead in it, you know what I'm saying? Speaking of the mental illness and stuff like that, And by the way, hope that trickles down to us, you know what I'm saying, in our anti-system thing that we have here.
To the potential settlement payouts, one of the podcast hosts then made this joke. Here it is.
Especially if these kids had arrested development once they had the lead poisoning. You got a 13-year-old, and that means he looks 26.
Yeah.
But at the same time, now he got a $2 million check.
Right.
It's gonna be some dead prostitutes.
That's right.
That's what that means.
And a lot of cocaine.
Yeah, it is. I'm gonna party with one of these ladies.
Now, real quick, who's having a drug epidemic in their community right now? Is it us or them? You know what I'm saying? Last I checked, you know what I'm saying? Like, they ODing off. It looked like that chick that was in New York was on meth, you know what I'm saying, with the body in the freezer. She was probably, and I'm not joking, like she was on meth.
Beyond unprofessional, beyond insensitive.
Yeah.
Changes. It's supposed to be your advocate. Okay? The Detroit Free Press reported that as of now, no Flint residents. Yeah. Check it out. So speaking of that, maybe did money trickle down to of Flint's water crisis in April. Now, I want to remind you, this is supposed to be your advocate. Okay? The Detroit Free Press reported that as of now, no Flint resident, none, has received money from the $626 million civil settlement that was approved by a federal judge in 2021. A publicist one of the Flint contractors, said Stern is suing, reportedly shared comments last week about the coverage of Stern's comments on Martin's show. In an email, the Veolia North America spokesperson told Atlanta Black Star that, according to an earlier email shared about Stern's comments, Stern was exposed for making derogatory comments about his clients and the city of Flint, even as their case has made him and his fellow lawyers nearly $200 million, end quote.
Well, I will tell you that Black Death, Black Poison, Black Labor, Black Prison, Black whatever is Black basketball is $1 billion industry for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Our blood is $1 billion industry. And they all be like, oh, you're racist for saying like, yo, their tears are worth, well, you know what I'm saying, what gold, the price of gold right now, you know what I'm saying? If we were racist, then white tears would probably be worth gold, and then those Soban tears would be like worth silver or something, you know what I'm saying? But it is not that case right now, you know what I'm saying? But they prosper off of our deaths off at the beginning, you know what I'm saying? You look at at that war, when they start bringing in the drugs, I forget what the name of it was, in the 80s, you know what I'm saying? So they made money off of the war, right? So then they brought, you know, cocaine back during the war, put it in our communities, made money, also was able to derail us and like break our families up and put a lot of us in prison, you know. Then they created the for-profit prisons in the 80s. So they like legalized it, or they did something where the first for-profit prison was in the 80s. So now they continue to this day, before, during, and after, they capitalized off of, you know what I'm saying, murder and bloodshed, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying, you know, that's just how it goes. They make money because the most, like, you know, cotton, sugar, you know what I'm saying, like all of that stuff is valuable, but the most valuable thing of all was us, you know.
Per the Detroit Free Press, Stern responded to the comments by stating that the contractor took his remarks out of context and accusing the contractor of helping to resurface the old podcast comments.
All right, so, you know, you see here, you know, of course they get that explanation. Now check this out. Now some people, you know, I know my brother MG2 is out there in California. I don't know if this already hit his home. Now check this out, right? Californians could soon be drinking toilet water. Now keep in mind that they still haven't been able to fix the water in Flint or clean the water in Flint, but in California, like, we're finna die of thirst in a little while, y'all. You know what I'm saying? If you haven't been getting your bottles of water, it ought to be like $12 like in the 2 years for like a bottle of water that's like $2.99 right now.
Is your kitchen ready for a
So, well, yeah, people that live out there in California, we probably already do.
Wastewater will taste toilet water soon. Californians could soon be drinking fresh, recycled toilet water. State water regulators just approved the controversial Toilet to Tap project. The proposal calls for water suppliers to start building advanced treatment plants that will process wastewater into safe drinking water. Before you freak out, experts stress California has already been reusing and drinking recycled wastewater.
By the way, there are experts that say that men can give birth. You know what I'm saying? They're experts and scholars say this, and scientists, you know. Just to give context, I'm not saying whatever they say is true or not. I'm just saying, just to give context to what their experts say.
Yeah, maybe you just didn't know. Most of it is put back into rivers and streams, which then ends up flowing into your kitchen faucet. The new regulations will allow more monitoring to make
sure. You mean the faucet that get half of us lead poison? Is that what you're talking about?
Sure the water is safe to drink.
You know, maybe they shouldn't use the phrase toilet to tap to promote this. I'm just, you know,
it's not great PR.
Because there's a lot of other.
All right, whatever. Let me see. That's probably the wrong one.
Calvin.
And I'm Pedro Rivera. Sewage into drinking water. Sewage into.
This is European. It's throwing the. They said don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. That was a European
Rules for
saying.
turning sewage into drinking water.
It's a precious resource for California's 39 million residents. KTLA's Jacqueline Sarkeesian joins us live from Laverne with the details. Hi, Jacqueline.
Hi, good evening to both of you. I know when we first hear wastewater turning it into drinking water, a lot of us immediately are getting grossed out. But state water officials say that the state has actually been using recycled water for decades. Just hasn't been used directly for drinking water, but now that it will be, it's a big step for California after it's been struggling for so
Now, out of all the water in the house is the toilet water.
many years to find a reliable source of drinking water for its more than 39 million residents, and especially since the state is prone to drought.
Leave it up to a European expert. What about toilet water? Like, we could try that.
Residents, and especially since the state is prone to drought. It's an idea that once made people gag, recycling wastewater from toilets and turning it into drinking water. But on Tuesday, California regulators approved new rules to do just that. Take wastewater, treat it, and then put it right back into the pipes carrying drinking water to homes, schools, and businesses.
People in California are really understanding the value of water, understanding that we can do better than just using it one time and discharging it into the ocean.
Jennifer West is the managing director of Water Reuse California, a group fighting long and hard for recycled water.
It almost got misty. And rarely do you do that for regulations, but it was so it was really exciting to see so much work, so much effort has gone into this for so long, and to see this come to fruition today.
The project is Toilet to Tap. You know what I'm saying? It's sponsored by a white person. Said it's okay to drink the water out the toilet. So it is okay now, y'all.
It was really a career topper.
The new rules mandate water be treated for all pathogens and viruses, even if there aren't any in it.
What they adopted today was a regulations that has a multi-step purification process that goes through about 7 different types of distinct steps, where there's monitoring along the way at each step. So really,
So if, just in case, drinking everybody's pee gives you sickness. Yo, what's up, Buwana? I don't know. Maybe Buwana, you already drinking Toilet to Tap, so I don't know.
this water comes out, it's going to meet or exceed all drinking water standards. It's going to be some of the cleanest water there is.
And this
It's not
won't happen
funny, though.
overnight.
This is not funny. This is going on in California as we speak. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's people that I've talked to on here that is like from California. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna die of freaking thirst. I don't think you can go 24 hours without drinking water. I don't know how long you can go. Maybe 48 hours. You know what I'm saying? How long can you go without drinking something? Like, we finna die, yo. You know what I'm saying? Well, at least we won't have a job and we can enjoy our last days of dying of thirst.
It will likely be years before any Californians are drinking the treated water. The
Oh,
state
okay,
first needs to
years.
build plants to purify the wastewater.
Oh, we'll just keep drinking this poison water for a few more years until they can figure out how to actually give you the toilet water.
Which is expensive and time consuming. Initially, it will only be an option for bigger, well-funded.
Yeah, I've been around. If you've been to an area, and they got an area near here, is like near the highway. If you get out, like, you can smell it while you're in your car going past on the highway. And I've been to the place, like, you know what I'm saying, in there is like, it stinks, and they're doing that with the water. Yeah, that's why we all get like sick now. You know what I'm saying? And that's another case for like, but you know what I'm saying, before the water gets to like $10.99 or like $15.99, like, just go ahead and get you some now. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. But, you know, it's okay. So tomorrow morning when you wake up, you could just use the toilet bowl to like brush your teeth, I guess. Well, I don't know if they say brush your teeth is cool or not. I got to look at what their experts say about brushing your teeth. You don't have to wash your legs, that's for sure. A shower like twice a week is fine. And drinking out of the toilet. I gotta figure out the rest. I don't know about the rest of that.
Wastewater,
And
which is
brushing your teeth is
expensive and
okay.
time-consuming. Initially, it will only be an option for bigger, well-funded
I understand, Rob, but that's the only water that we're gonna like we don't even have like people that have like wells and stuff like that, or in the areas that we are. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing that, what I'm saying, you can do is that's the best water you can get, unless you what I'm saying, start boiling your own water or something.
cities. The Metropolitan Water District is planning to build a $6 billion facility
Pretty much we're gonna die of thirst either way we talking about, so whatever.
in Carson. And California will be the second state to recycle wastewater. Colorado is the first. As for that facility,
Damn, it said Colorado was first. All of them probably been doing it, but like Bukhari said, all of them been doing it. But
Carson, it's scheduled to start.
Now you can just wake up in the morning and just go in. You know what I'm saying?
Put Fritzy's Curl Nourish to the test.
Yeah. Let me see. I think I get the point anyway. They said something funny, I think, in this one. I hope this one.
Turning wastewater into drinking water, but in California, they're now trying to change that narrative.
The item is adopted. The vote is unanimous.
After facing extreme drought that brought reservoirs down to historic lows, California has approved new rules to allow water agencies to treat wastewater for public consumption.
So there is a very extensive advanced water treatment process. And
Water treatment
goes
plant.
through 3 stages. So microfiltration, reverse osmosis, and ultraviolet light.
They put the sister out
and
there.
the water is pure water at the end.
The water must be treated for pathogens and viruses. Officials say the treatment is so thorough that it removes minerals from the water, which must be added back in to improve its taste.
Now wait a minute. So they can do this, but they've been having poison water in all of these cities for so long, and they still have the poison water, but they can clean the water. So like that don't even make sense. So they have this thing that can clean the water, but they have water that isn't clean that's out right now. Right? They can't even clean the water that you drink out your faucet right now. You know what I'm saying? Or like a lot of that stuff. Unless I guess we go back to getting wells and stuff, but we don't have that. But they can't even clean that water. You know what I'm saying? But they can do this, I'm not sure.
San Diego, there's hope that this recycled water could eventually supply nearly half the city's water.
Drought happens all the time.
I didn't look it up. I meant to do this one. I ain't look up the right one because it was in Arkansas, another one.
Price tag for repairing the water system could be up to $10 million.
Now, I'm sorry, I understand that, of course, I haven't solved the water crisis and nothing like that. And the truth is, I hope that I can create something. I ain't gonna say toilet water now, you know what I'm saying? But that can purify the water, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Maybe you can drink your toilet water. I don't know. Y'all can test it out and then tell me if it works, Yeah, I used to have a job where I had to go on. I went to one of the places, you know what I'm saying, to do something. And that the whole place stink. But like I said, you could smell it from the highway, you know what I'm saying? And then they pump it back. And if you know anything, you'd be like, yo, you don't drink nothing out the James River. The water is disgusting. Bottle has microplastics in it. Yeah, very harmful to the human. Yeah, they dump the water has all kinds of stuff in it. You know what I'm saying? That's why we're already in trouble. You know what I'm saying? Maybe global warming is the only thing that can save us. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully the sun does heat up. You know what I'm saying?
Republican Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders has sent water to the town, but not money, making the town take out a loan to fix the issue. Chris Jones, who lost to Huckabee Sanders in the last election, is criticizing the governor for not using the state's $1.2 billion surplus to help the people of that community.
We have over $1 billion in surplus, in budget surplus. 1.6 billion this year. It was 1.6 billion last year, 1.2 billion this year. So there's surplus money. And instead of utilizing that money to fix the infrastructure in a town to help the people, she authorized the National Guard to bring in water. Okay, great. And she expedited them getting a loan in order to, $100,000 loan in order to
Instead of giving surplus money.
Exactly.
By the way, Jones is also criticizing Huckabee Sanders for her proposal to spend $1 billion to expand prisons in that state.
I mean, maybe that's the only way that y'all can accept inevitability of maybe nobody is safe, you know what I'm saying? That it is be a global catastrophe.
Digging deeper tonight into a controversial electric shock therapy that the
All right, so y'all, I think Cassandra sent me this, right? Look at this, you know. Now this was from 2016. All right, so a school in Massachusetts, is using shock therapy on handicapped kids. Guess whose kids, by the way, you know, or it looks to that
federal
way.
government is now trying to ban.
Massachusetts is home to the only school in the country still using electric shocks on its students, and we warn you, some of this video you're about to see may be disturbing. Here's Mike Bodette.
This is video from inside the Judge Rotenberg Center in Canton, video the school fought for years to keep hidden.
Andre, enough wrong directions to take your jacket off.
It shows the school giving 18-year-old Andre McCollins dozens of electric shocks in 2002, something known as aversive therapy, which the FDA says is still being used on about 50 students at the school. Andre was restrained and shocked for hours, the FDA announcing Friday it's taking the rare step of proposing to ban the devices that administer the shocks because they present an unreasonable and substantial risk to public health. The FDA adding it has ethical concerns about...
He said substantial risk of illness, and it said something about like mental stuff too. I can't find it, but
torture physically, mentally, emotionally. That device is very, very painful.
Cheryl McCollins is Andre's mother, who says a ban on the device is long overdue.
Andre didn't do anything but refuse to take off his coat and to treat him like an animal while other children looked on. It just shows the evilness in human beings and the whole program.
Evilness in all human beings. In my
shows
lineage
the evilness in human beings and the whole program.
This video surfaced during
why would we put our kids in any of those schools if they use any of these methods that keep us in this, you know, because that's just what we do. You know what I'm saying?
This video surfaced during...
Because it's like, you know, it's like it says, it's rewards and it's consequences, you know what I'm saying? They reward you for your coon behavior and give you consequences for your not coon behavior, you know.
McCollins' civil suit against the Judge Rotenberg Center in 2012, which settled before the jury reached a verdict. Soon after, the FDA began investigating, which led to Friday's proposed ban. But the Judge Rotenberg Center is still standing by its use of electric shocks, saying the staff at JRC is committed to serving these students when no other facility can or will. Students who struggle with violent, abusive, or mutilating behaviors toward themselves or others. We hope that the families directly involved will have a voice before any final decision is made on this matter. The FDA disputes many of the claims made by the Judge Rotenberg Center. It'll now take public comments on the proposed ban for the next month before making a final decision. Andre McCollins, by the way, is living at a group home in New York. His mom says he's never...
All right, so, you know, this happened in 2016, right? So then that's when they was like, they're going to propose a ban to end shock therapy, you know what I'm saying, for people that are mentally handicapped, which appeared to be like, you know, his mom was black, you know, and we understand which children get that. So and then you know, Cassandra just sent me this, you know, so a couple of like not too long ago, right? So after what, like 7 years, the Supreme Judicial Court ruled that electric shock therapy on patients with developmental and intellectual diseases, including autism, which you know could be caused by lead in your water or stuff like that, you know, different things like that, including your other things like what you eat and you know, all of that. But anyway, so they ruled that yeah, they can continue to use electric shock therapy on developmental and intellectual diseases, you know what I'm saying, in Massachusetts, you know. Let me see. I don't know why I said I wanted to play this one.
The students of the justified over the years as the only effective way to control this. Court overturns FDA ban. Lets school to use electric shock treatment on kids to correct behavior.
All right, peace out, my brother Bukhari.
The Judge Rotenberg Educational Center.
I hope you have a safe day during your work tomorrow, you know what I'm saying. I'm sorry. I used the most comfortable term for you, you know what I'm saying, as you work tomorrow, quote unquote. No, I'm just messing with you. Violent or mutilating behavior, but we believe in mutilating behavior in the name of gender identity. Yeah, I was listening to some discuss. It's European culture. What can I say? I don't know. What they can do, what they want to do in Europe. I'm just saying, like, what the hell is going on? We getting caught up in it now. Now is a problem. You see, that's my point. Now we getting caught up in it.
Center has been justified over the years as the only effective way to control the students. The Judge Rotenberg Educational Center was called out a few years ago for the controversial practice of administering electric shocks to its students with disabilities to control their behavior. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration, FDA, had previously tried to ban this practice. In a 2018 report, it had stated, "We believe these products present an unreasonable and substantial risk to public health that cannot be corrected or eliminated through changes to the labeling." The FDA takes the act of banning a device only on rare occasions, when it is necessary to protect public health. But now a federal court ruling has overturned this ban, allowing the shock treatments to continue. Many of the students of the Rotenberg Center are equipped with a backpack that carries a battery and wires that are attached to their bodies. The wires deliver a 2-second shock if they misbehave. The idea that this is somehow treatment is absurd. It's sadistic and it's torture. Gloria Hearn, president of the Washington, D.C. justified over the years as the only effective way to control the students. Among the people who have been at the receiving end of this cruel treatment are Luigi DeSisto, an autistic man, and Rico Torres. They were both shocked to control their behavior. Torres was shocked for things like threatening to hit another student, but the ban was challenged.
You seen the black kid who was not taking off his coat. Now I'm gonna spare you of this next one, right? I'm gonna spare you because I'm gonna
watch NHL games.
Wrap it up, and I shouldn't have even played this one because it gave a commercial. But I was gonna use this white bitch here to talk about, you know, she was talking about CRT, but I was gonna use it to talk about Black history because this white bitch is a teacher. I understand she's a teacher. You know what I'm saying? And we wonder how we get in this situation. But I'm gonna spare y'all, you know, because it's kind of long. But this is her on Black talking about going to Target, and she's seen something about Black History Month, and that's her, you know what I'm saying, page, and you know what I'm saying. But she's a teacher, and she's like, oh yeah, this is insufferable talking about Black History Month, you know. And I was just going to use her. But the problem is this white bitch is a teacher, like many of the teachers you would find you're teaching your children if you were to ever go to the schools, you know what I'm saying, if you were to have a parent-teacher, you know what I'm saying, conference thing or whatever. But I'll skip that, and then I'll go to the end, you know what I'm saying. I'm going to play this, you know what I'm saying, for y'all. So I can get out of here, all right? We are the... And if anybody want to say something, let me know now. I'll put the link in the chat. if I may have offended anybody, if you disagree, if you got something to add or an opinion, you can do that. I know y'all gotta get ready for slavery. I mean, work tomorrow.
We are the Boers. We are a very proud nation. We are the white tribe of Africa. And we are here to show the people. We're going to make our stand in this country. There's certain parts of this country that is our parts.
Hold on, what's that?
We are the Boers. We are a very proud nation. We are the white tribe of Africa.
Yeah, the white tribe
We are
of
here
Africa.
to show the people. We're going to make our stand in this country. There's certain parts of this country that is our parts.
There's certain parts of that country that's theirs.
Jesus. If they turn to Africa, turns to Jesus. If they turn to God, then God.
Are they sneaking meth into South Africa now? Like, it's gotta be on meth. You know what I'm saying? Look at her. They probably bringing meth to South Africa now. I wouldn't be surprised. Like, that's not even a joke. Look at her. Okay. I'll put the link in there. If it does it. I know the rest of them got to get ready to, for labor tomorrow. Maybe that's a word in the middle, labor. Y'all got to get ready for labor tomorrow. That benefits somebody else, you know what I'm saying, more than us, you know. I'm not judging. I'm just reminding us what it is so that maybe we'll be like, man, forget this, you know what I'm saying. I know I am. I'm trying to, like, find my own lane, you know what I'm saying. Yeah, they feel the same way about the planet. All right, come on, man. This don't keep freezing every time I try to do something. All right, I put the link in there. All right, but I'm going to let her finish with what she's saying, you know.
God said in His word, He will rescue them and He will bless their land. And if we as South Africans turn to God, He will definitely answer to His promise and He will never fail us. And then we will be blessed.
So you think the country should return to God?
Yes, I do. And if they repent and stay away from their sins and then they walk with God, He will turn this country upside down and He will be the one.
Oh, wow. Yo, what's going on, Black Magus?
BB488, Black Liberation. Man, just when it comes to the quote unquote the Boers or the Beers, however the hell you say it, man, y'all got to look at these people's history. Those are Ashkenazis through and through. If you couldn't see that from that bitch's nose, I mean, there's a lot of identifying politics that need to be looked into. Just real quick on the water thing.
Hey, Black Magus,
talking about this.
They all drinking the water out the toilet, my brother. Like, whatever they all gonna drink water out the toilet. I'm just saying, bro. Like, there's no distinction. We can just judge by that. Whoever, is drinking water out the toilet, they all do. But yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry, my brother.
I mean, when you really look at it in the sense that people already pay for a water bill. So they believe that, if I'm going to drink some water, and don't get me wrong, like I've used a Brita water filter, hell, since 2005 or 6. I only drink water out of that. Like, I'm not going to buy bottles of water when I can buy an actual filtration system. But at this point, the things that are being pushed through the water, these filters can't protect you from. So I've looked for years into getting a water softener. But that system is it's kind of flawed a little bit. I've looked into getting the reverse osmosis filtration system attached to my entire house. Again, all of these things are not the water softener. Maybe it'll cost you about $3,000, and you'll have to buy the softener that you add to it. It's like a big size bag, and replacement bag is running you about maybe $20, and that bag will last for about maybe 3 to 5 months, depending on how much water is used throughout your house. The reverse osmosis, I think,
You
is
said,
about
hold on.
10.
What, that's what you were saying. The reverse osmosis is what you was just saying that'll cost you. How
No,
much again?
that's the water softener. You can
Water
get a
softener.
water
Okay.
softener. Yeah, you can get a water softener from Lowe's or Home Depot, and like I said, that'll cost you probably upwards to $3,000. At least it used to. Who knows now? It used to cost up to about $3,000. You just connect it directly to your water source in your house, and it goes through that filtration system. The reverse osmosis, a bare minimum, is going to run you at about $10,000 to get it hooked up to the whole house. So some people, they'll only do like to their faucet, like for the kitchen or things like that, where they're going to mainly get water that they drink from. But again, reverse osmosis removes your natural minerals, your zinc, your magnesium, the things that are in the water that you really need. So you need to be able to add those vitamins and minerals back to that water after doing reverse osmosis. No different than doing distilled water. I have a water distiller. You can get a water distiller off of Amazon for about how much did I pay? I want to say it was like $200-300 something. You distill your water. It comes with a clean pack and things like that. But again, distilled water is the cleanest form of water that you can actually have, but it removes all vitamins and minerals from the water. So if you're going to use it for an actual drinking source, just know, again, you got to replace those vitamins and minerals that's going to be taken out of that water. Distillery is just swirl in the water, it evaporates it, and then the vapors are collected, and that's what drips back down into an actual water source. It's a lengthy process. My distill takes about 4 hours, and after the water is distilled, you still need to let that water sit for approximately 5 to 8 hours.
Hey, your phone kind of doing that robot jump for like the last 5 to 10 seconds.
Okay, let me see. Hold on, give me a second here. Oh.
I don't even know if I'm still on here because it's like I got one person in. I know I'm looking on my phone, so I'm that one person. So
is it coming through now though? You can hear me without the little mechanical noise? Okay.
Yeah.
But there is since about actually I want to say this was in 2020, but it could have been 2021 when this interview came out. And he turned it into a documentary. There's this white guy. His name is Dr. Bryan Ardis. Ardis, A-R-D-I-S. Bryan, just a common spelling, B-R-Y-A-N. Bryan Ardis. I suggest y'all look into what this man has to say. Pretty much, he's the only scientist that people are really ignoring when it comes to the quote-unquote jab. Right. He's found it to have snake venom in it. And that's exactly how the virus itself is attacking people in their respiratory systems, just like King Cobra venom. He's been putting out the warning since late 2020, early 2021, that it is in the water source. And if you are still drinking tap water, then you're consuming this stuff. One thing that he recommended is that and I tried this out and it worked for me, so trust me, it works. He suggested that if you ever contracted the actual virus itself, and you feel like you've never gotten that sense of taste back, or there's still some small respiratory system things that you notice that you have, especially if it's that cough or just a hard problem with breathing, even if you just walk up and down the stairs, get nicotine gum. Nicotine it cancels out venom, um, which is why I could get into other things. Just get nicotine gum. I brought a pack for like maybe $4. I didn't. I accidentally tried chewing the whole thing. Yeah, you don't. If you're nicotine insensitive, like you don't smoke cigarettes or anything like that, I would suggest not doing that. Cut it up into about 4 separate pieces and just chew on that, and you will immediately notice a huge change in your taste buds. Your breathing will clear up. If you feel like you've had asthma issues, especially since 2020 and the lockdowns, just chew on that little bitty small piece of nicotine gum, and you will see those things disappear. Just gone. All of those symptoms just gone. I'm not, trying to give you any medical advice. I'm just telling you what this guy said. I tried it for myself, and I noticed that it worked. See if it works for you. And again, find that documentary. I believe the name of the documentary is In the Water or something like that. If you type in Bryan Ardis, I think it's called Watch the Water. Bryan Ardis, Watch the Water. You should be able to find a link to it on BitChute or one of those other what do they call them, platforms that's not censored. And then just watch it and see what you can surmise from the things that this man has said. And if you're willing to try them out for yourself, I'm not saying that the guy is 100% factual, because I haven't checked into all of the things that he says, but from what have looked into and for the things that I have tried on myself, I noticed that thus far he hasn't lied. So if you're still drinking that tap water, it don't matter where you're at. It's in the water. That's all I wanted to share, Brother Forecast.
Yeah. And Ross said alkaline water is the best. You can buy a machine for around $2,000. Yeah, and I know it's people that get water, alkaline water, even alkaline water to use just to brush their teeth with, you know what I'm saying? Because the pipes is just it is what it is at this point, But yeah, my brother, I appreciate it. Well, yeah, and I feel what you're saying, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, and the thing is though, you know what I'm saying, it's by design, and until we are coming up with ways to clean our own water, our own selves, or having wells or whatever the hell it takes, you know what I'm saying, that's always a danger. And yeah, it's so much stuff in the water that is crazy. What do you do to what one of the best ways to destabilize and take out a whole population, poison the water supply, so my brother, I guess I asked you, so you ain't using the toilet water to brush your teeth tomorrow morning? The white scientist said it's okay.
I ain't touching no goddamn toilet water. It was actually, like I said, I've always been using a Brita water filter. But within these last 2 weeks, I actually looked at my pitcher, and I noticed that there was a calcium buildup around the rim of the pitcher, and I was like, "What the hell? This has never happened before." And it was just like, you know what? At this point, yeah, I don't even trust the filter that I have, that it's good enough to block what the hell is coming through this stuff, because I've never had a calcium buildup on the side of my plastic pitcher build up just from water touching it. That in itself was enough for me to be like, yeah, we're done with this stuff. So like I said, yesterday I went out to Big Lots and got 20 bottles of 1 gallon, and I'm pretty much gonna probably try to do that once a week. Pick up 20 gallons, and that's even less than $20. A dollar, $1.19 per gallon. So hey, yeah, I'll do what it is you feel works best for you. I'm gonna do what I feel works best for me. Hopefully none of us is wrong.
Yeah, definitely. And I guess I should have pulled it up. Matron had a video where she had she showed something about Oh yeah, here though, a Life Straw at Costco. I just play this one, but I know it's different things that you can do. But
Yeah, the Life Straw though, that's for last minute survival things. I would
right,
definitely recommend having one, but that's
hmm
something that you want to put in a bug out bag. That's not something
right,
that you want to use for everyday
right,
usage.
right, right. Yeah, and yeah, that's just something I thought of when you was talking. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Because I guess I should have, I had some or should but um, definitely shouts out to Matron. Subscribe to her channel.
Don't talk about me too bad, but guess what I found today? A 4-pack of Life Straw water purifying filters for $49.99. That's like $12.50 a piece. It's a great deal. If you are near Costco, go grab you some today. All right, you guys.
Yeah, because I was like, yeah, when you was in there, that's what made me a reminder. So I guess you can be in your toilet drinking out through the Life Straw, and you'll be good.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know. We've done
Well,
reviews on back in 2015, 2016, when the Life Straw really came out for commercial usage. We've done reviews in the Straight Black Pride radio, and I mean, we've seen it works, but nobody has been willing to try the whole take it to some sewage water to see if it works.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
we're not that extreme, so you could probably go
No,
find some white person that's done it.
well, yeah, definitely. But yo, I wanted to shout out Matron for even showing that, and I appreciate her, and yeah, you said it worked though. Like on a serious note, you said it do work though, right?
It works.
All right,
People
yeah,
say that the water does not have a funny taste to it. The water just comes through nice, clean, and clear. The best, the dirtier the water source that you're using it on, the
right,
more corroded that the filter will be. So some people recommend that if you're out by a stream of water, then that's going to be the best water that you could possibly use. I don't know. I mean,
right.
again, they pump so much stuff into the damn water systems and the water supplies. This is not the first time that we've heard about them using wastewater. Texas has been doing it for years because the report came out about how they can't they can't siphon out menstrual they can't cipher out menstrual stuff. Women who may have miscarriages, they can't cipher that stuff out. That's the Trinity River. And when you buy a bottle of water, turn that joker around and see where it says it's been bottled at, because it's supposed to tell you that. If
Right.
it's spring water, usually it's going to say bottled at the source. But if it's something that's just some purified filtered water, then it's going to tell you exactly which river stream it came from. And within pretty much every city in America, they all have their own type of brand because they all get it from their natural source. And so it's going to tell you bottled at such and such. And you're like, oh shit, that's just the waste treatment plant down the street from me.
Right. Yeah. Pretty much. And like yeah, you're absolutely right. And that's the thing, like, all the way around, you know what I'm saying? Because like water is the key, is like you need water to live, you know what I'm saying? So like that's if we're not out here, because we're not going to solve the water issue, obviously. I like people get mad at me because I haven't, like, what I'm saying, solved the water thing in Alabama, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't even live in Alabama. Hell, I ain't even solved the water issue in Virginia, you know what I'm saying? But hopefully, my goal would be to, like, what I'm saying, create something that you can like actually, but I'm not a scientist, so, and I'm not rich either, but I'll do everything I can to like maybe one day develop something that can like stir, like you can put water into it and you get clean water out that we can trust and we know is for us, and that we can trust, like that, or that's it costs, the price isn't so high that our people can't just be like, oh, I ain't got no $5,000 for this or that to put it, even though we should, you know what I'm saying? But we just gonna look at the price like, oh, $5,000, then I ain't spending no $5,000, you know what I'm saying? But
Look, the thing is that people people such as us, right? We question the narrative, and because we question the narrative, that is what unfortunately during today's times, that is what makes us leagues above the masses, right? The masses will, again, like you just said, they'll ridicule you. Like, why are you talking about the water and you ain't solved your own water problem? Meanwhile, they're not even thinking that there's a water problem. So your line of thinking is way above theirs already in that sense. If we're not going to have any kind of accountability of any industry or any person, then we're just going to let whatever comes our way come. And when people say that this is what their product is and this is what it's supposed to do, then we're just going to, fall into it and fall in line and use it. Case in point, I have nothing against this brother. I am not trying to discourage anybody from believing in him. But the fact is that I do not know his science, and I haven't seen him share the science on how his system works. The brother Moses, who does who has the machines that take the moisture out of the air, out of the oxygen to create water. And he's calling it infinite water supply. There is no such thing. Everything has a finite source. If you're absorbing, this is the way that my mind works with all of the science and things that I know. You cannot suck the O2 out of all of oxygen, out of the molecules, and then expect there to not be an actual O2 molecule within the air. Remember, our bodies need this stuff to function. So if there is no water source within our oxygen source, then what are we breathing in? And so he has his devices set up throughout select places, but can anybody tell me what has the respiratory system of the people who live within these devices been like? Nobody is thinking about that. Nobody is looking into that. Those are the things that I think about. When it comes to the actual water source itself, all water comes from the aqueducts that are within the earth. Well, do you live within 200 miles of a fracking company? Because if you do, which I'm pretty sure most of you do, and you just don't even know it, your water source is already tainted. I've worked in the fracking field. I've seen how far down in the ground they dig. I've seen what chemicals they pump in. I've seen what happens to the water sources within cities that are within 100-mile range of a fracking site. When you have multiple fracking sites, you can't go anywhere basically in Utah without there being a fracking site. You can barely go anywhere within the Rockies without there being a fracking site. Fracking is doing heavy damage to the aquifers within the actual Earth's crust, where we're supposed to get, like people say you're supposed to drink your well water. Well, if you have well water and you have, again, a fracking site within a 2-mile radius from you, you need to be able to test your water. There's a device called a TDI. Actually, I leave it up. Actually, here it is right here. TDS. There's a TDS meter. You can buy a TDS meter for $10 off of Amazon. I'm actually looking at it right now, and it tells you what PFSs, those forever chemicals, are within your water source. The more expensive the device, the better it is at finding out what kind of chemicals are within your water source. There's tons of things that you can buy to test your own water. We don't have to depend on others to do it for you. You just have to do it yourself. And then once you find out what you have, all right, let me find what water filtration system will work for me. Because again, I'm not down in the brother, but if one of Moses's devices come into your neighborhood, you really need to think about what's happening to the oxygen levels around you at that point.
Yeah, and and I'll say, for people out there, because I didn't know for a long time, fracking is basically when they dig into the ground for a resource, natural resources, precious resources, and they extract, in my opinion, it could be too much, I don't know, but digging into the ground, like especially as deep as they dig into the ground for the resources, does affect different things, and so I just wanted to say what fracking is, but or you could correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, do you want to say anything else? Because I want to show like something positive before I get off of here, because I don't want it to be all negative.
Oh no, brother, that's it. I'm actually about to hop off.
All right, yeah, I appreciate you coming on. Everything good too, my brother?
Yeah, man. Just real quick on the case, everybody. First off, Madasi Pai for the contributions. I greatly appreciate it, me and my family. Because it looks like these people have no evidence. When my lawyer, submitted paperwork to the prosecution to turn over any evidence that they had, the only evidence that they had was of one of the victims who's claiming that he was a victim, I should say, that he was injured. Well, he checked out that night with the EMS, and the EMS said he was okay. He was going to get transported to the hospital. He denied that transport and further medical treatment. He even signed a document waiving all of that. And then he didn't go to the hospital until 9 days later. You say you were injured, but you didn't go to the hospital until 9 days later. It makes no sense. And even when he went to the hospital 9 days later, he got checked out again. So at this point, we're like, that's the only evidence that you guys have. You haven't turned anything over to us. You haven't turned over even video cam footage from the police officers during my arrest. So we're not going to give them time to try to build a case. We're going with habeas corpus, so we're going to do the right to a speedy trial. My next court date is March 13th. And we're just going to hold their feet to the fire. If you say that you have something, then you need to go ahead on and produce it now. If not, you need to drop all charges, and this shit needs to be dropped, because the victims themselves have also said that they didn't want things to get this far. They never even wanted me to be arrested. Well, if that's all on the police officer's body cam footage, then this will more than likely turn into a wrongful detention lawsuit for me, which, as some people know, depending on how egregious the crime is against your civil rights, also depends on how big the payout is. For me, it's not so much about the payout, though. Granted, hey, I don't mind it, but that's pretty much what we're looking at now. You still there, Forecast?
Oh, damn, I was on mute. Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
But I was like, yeah, man, I hope everything work out. But, and we were just talking about the courts and stuff earlier, what I'm saying, my brother. But, that's why I'm like, but, I feel like, I'm saying, you're going to be good, though, what I'm saying? And, definitely, you already know that it's, it's all love, it's all respect over here, my brother.
Greatly appreciated, brother. Hotep, your family.
All right, my brother. So let me do this so I can go off, right? I guess my brother Black Magus interrupted her talking about God's land in Africa.
Give us back our promised land, because he promises in abundance, but we will have to turn from the wicked ways, otherwise it will never work.
And
they gotta turn.
Just
think about it. They gotta turn from their wicked ways, or it'll never work. And she thinks they're gonna get any land from whatever if they gotta turn from their wicked ways.
this video is
what are their wicked ways, though?
Dangerous is because if you are an African person who is a Christian, or rather, and praying with who did not keep.
All right. Because this was a whole nother thing. But speaking of that, you see this brother here. He's an NFL player. I guess I have to pick something positive. You know what I'm saying? This brother here, who is an NFL player, did something positive with his money, and he always walk around, wearing his African garb in the
Thanks
NFL.
to all those who came before me. I would like to give thanks to all the elders in the room and all of the dignitaries, of course, the Chihini.
Now, he was a Ghanaian brother who was born in America and went
My
to the
name is
NFL.
Jeremiah Yaowusu Kormoa. My father is of the Achen people from Old Tafo town. I grew up in the diaspora, the United States, specifically in Virginia, and I play American football professionally.
Yeah, Virginia.
Called the NFL. We are currently annually going through Ghana and hosting some American football camps. And the hope is to create more opportunities, create more exposure, and create more development and jobs for our people. The point in coming to meet His Excellency was to allow me an opportunity to give thanks personally, eye to eye, ear to ear. We also have plans to create an educational center, whether academy, university, sports complex, having it be problem to solution so that our people can have their interests being met. And my main claim and my main ideology is that our interest is fulfilled.
Nobody has ever attained greatness that does not have a sense of belonging. Everybody that has made the name in the Hall of Fame of great people.
So this brother at least used his NFL contract to, you know what I'm saying, do that. He has, teach them about health. Okay, yeah. Nice brother coming to the games and stuff like that, you know. Yeah, he's still playing football, so I'm not gonna act like, you know what I'm saying, like that's how colonized we are, like. But that's making me extreme, so I'm not gonna do that. This is some positive. Let's make the positive stuff positive. He rocking the African garb to the games to go play for the white man. And he got the goal. Was that the Mansa Musa, the Mansa Musa gold? I can dig it, minus the religion. But anyway, and I'm gonna play this one last time because this is good things to see. You know what I'm saying? Whether it is what it is, we need to see more of this because we mentioned this maybe yesterday, maybe today. I can't remember, but we was talking about schools and with all of our children into their schools being taught by white bitches. Oh yeah, I was gonna talk about it, but I didn't. But our children being taught by the white bitches. I think we need to see and go back to a time where, you know, there were black men teachers. What you think happened to all the black teachers? We see what happened to the students, but what happened to all the black teachers that was teaching the black kids, especially the black men?
What's up, little brother? You gonna do these vocabulary words?
Yes.
Okay, what about this one? 12.
This is intransigent, opulence,
7.
dogged,
9.
obstinate,
8.
inexorable,
5.
pretentious,
2.
garish,
1.
lofty,
10.
intransigent,
11.
filtration,
14.
nephralgia,
Good. 13.
I wouldn't have got that.
nephrolith,
What about 4?
opulence,
What about 6?
stenosis,
Good. What about 3?
ornate,
9.
obstinate,
18.
hypertension,
16.
stenosis,
You know this one. That's a big boy word.
glomerulonephritis.
Good job, little brother.
I'm not getting that one.
And Placeberry Wild.
Next.
Who would like their name to be slandered as opinions
Opposed.
opposed to the truth? It's my opinion that the government had a sinister operation during the pandemic.
These words are political, I see. Okay.
They have tainted our water, poisoned us.
Beliefs.
Beliefs. My beliefs postulate that all.
Now I'm not gonna lie. I might have got belief, but I wouldn't have got postulate. I probably wouldn't get. I'm talking about right now. I might have got belief, but I would not have got postulate.
What's the long U sound?
U.
U, right? So it's STU.
Still.
DENT.
Still. Students.
There you go. Good job.
Should.
Listen. Good.
Listen to their heart.
Okay. Look at this. What's RENT?
RENT.
What sound is that?
I don't know.
Okay. What about EN? What sound does EN make?
N.
N. What about ENT?
ENT. Ends.
Ent. So what's RENT?
RENT. Rinse.
Good. And PA?
Parents.
There you go. Good job, little brother. Excellent work, man. That's how you use them sounds.
Yeah. Shouts out to the brothers, older brothers teaching the younger brothers. You know what I'm saying, and teaching them. It looked like with a black mindset. Hopefully, you know what I'm saying. Yo, shouts out to Blanca. I appreciate you for coming through. Appreciate. Yeah, and I'm about to get off of here. You know what I'm saying. Like I said, I know y'all got to go to like work tomorrow, so I'm gonna get off of here. But I'll say this though, you know, there is rewards and there is consequences. You know what I'm saying? If we got people that be out there doing the things that need to be done and holding it down, and that, you know, like you could say somebody in history like John Henry Clark, if we don't like take care of that person, like reward the people who stand up for us, and then have consequences for those who go against us, you know what I'm saying? Then the same thing, because that's how they control their society, with rewards and consequences. Even like with this channel, you know what I'm saying? I've been stuck on the same thing. I got like 1 million views on this channel, you know what I'm saying? But it's their thing. And if they didn't mess with it or like whatever, I would know, you know, I would feel like, yo, now it's something weird going on, you know? Even now that they stopped blocking my channel, you know what I'm saying? I still feel like it's something weird going on. But that's how they keep us in this position, by using rewards and consequences. Now, I will end it like I started it. First and foremost, I want to show this. Okay, let me show this. Shouts out to my sister Cassandra and Rum in the Bush and everything she got going on, because she's definitely doing it. Shouts out to Matron. Y'all subscribe to Matron too, by the way, and go to her channel and vote for what she's doing. Let me see. All right. Yeah, this is Cassandra's channel. You know, we did the live yesterday. I think it was a good live. And then we had the sister, the Smoothie Queen, on here. You know what I'm saying? She has her own business. And they ship, especially if you in like North Carolina, Virginia area. She has like smoothies. I was gonna order. I'm probably gonna put my order in tomorrow. But you know, y'all support her because she got her own business. And this is her promoting another brother's business, you know, another black man's business, you know.
Hey y'all, you got the Smoothie Queen here. How are you guys? Yes. Okay. So I'm a mobile business. So I gave him the card. Yeah, I gave him the card. So I have a card. No, not right now. I'm shopping with my baby. She wanted to come to the mall with her friend. Hey y'all. So you got the Smoothie Queen here. I wanted to come live to shout out one of the businesses in Fayetteville. They are located in the Cross Creek Mall, and they're called Popcorn Pleasers. So it's a new popcorn shop in Cross Creek Mall next to the Lens Crafters. Let me show y'all where I'm at. The Lens Crafters is right here. They're right across. And right now I'm speaking with my new friend Troy, right?
I like to say this. She's the smoothie queen.
Yes.
I'm the popcorn king.
Okay.
You can't make this up.
Yeah, he making me a Chicago mix, y'all.
And the key word
Yes, definitely. Yes. Heavy rotation. Let's go. I'm all about supporting businesses because at the end of the day, this is what we need. Y'all, he out here doing this thing in Fayetteville and Cross Creek Mall. It's called Popcorn Pleasers. Black-owned business, which is
all right. She said she would love to support. But they live in Chicago. I'm not sure if they do ship out. You know, they are based in North Carolina. This is their thing. I'm trying to go to their website. It's the Smoothie Queen LLC. Just to show you what they got, but they do do shipping and stuff. I know because I asked because they ship it here, and she said yeah they could ship it here. I can go on their website so y'all can see it. The Smoothie Queen. She got the seasonal ones. You can subscribe. This is their business hours. All right. They have, the kitty smoothies, Empress Dragon Fruit. She got Smoothie by the Gallon. She got the 10-day detox, the Royal Meal Replacement, or you can get singles. You can build your own smoothie for $8. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So she got. Let me see if I can show you the different ones that she got. She got seasonal ones. Let me see. Because you gotta click on it, then you can get the one that you want. So you can get different kinds, you know what I'm saying? So shouts out to her. Yeah, he got the popcorn, and she had popcorn too. I was gonna order some. Oh yeah, the Smoothie Queen popcorn. I think she can deliver it, or I don't know if she working with them. You know what I'm saying? So she got the Smoothie Queen popcorn, and I know that they can deliver and ship and stuff like that. They got the shipping process, you know what I'm saying? So shouts out to, the Smoothie Queen, you know what I'm saying? Y'all definitely support her. I know I'm gonna order something. I fell asleep yesterday, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm gonna order it tomorrow. But I want to say shouts out to all of y'all, shouts out to Blanca, shouts out to my brother Black Magus. Thanks for coming on here, my brother. Shouts out to Raw, you already know. Shouts out to my brother Bakari, to Bawana. Shouts out to Casidra. Y'all support Realm in the Bush. Shouts out to my brother Anthony in the building. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate my brother. Shouts out, I guess she, I would guess that she's listening. My sister Matron. Y'all take Matron's poll, to which was, I think she already picked the next book, already. I think it's, but she's going to be live tomorrow at 7:00. So y'all subscribe to Matron for the reading of the next book, y'all definitely support her. Shouts out to Koku. Y'all subscribe to Koku. Everybody. I appreciate everybody. And I'm gonna do this right. I'm gonna do it the opposite, and it may be long. I don't care, you know what I'm saying. But it goes with what I'm saying. I'm gonna let the last words be the first words again, you know. So I appreciate all of y'all. Shouts out to all of y'all, you know.
Keep one fundamental thing in mind, is Howard Zinn warned that the establishment, though it may reward us, in order to maintain its control, if necessary, it will kill us. The essential idea that motivates white supremacy is that of maintaining control and dominance. And this establishment that maintains control and dominance will at one time reward you, Negro bourgeoisie, and when necessary to maintain its control, will also kill you. And I'm saying that because there's some of us who think because we are receiving certain rewards from this system, that these rewards will continue forever. But you have to recognize rewards are a mean of control as much as punishment. We talk about it in psychology as what? Positive reinforcement. Yeah. Bribing. Yeah. So you give positive reinforcement, good salaries, or what have you, good house, and so forth. And all of a sudden, those people who were gate rebels in the 1960s become neoconservatives in the 1980s. You know, they got the good life. They bought the idea. They think that this is going to go on forever. Have not studied the manipulation through rewards. And they went to college to study psychology. You know, and I've told you before how we are miseducated when we study psychology. We'll go right in there and study Skinnerian psychology and conditioning. And what have I told you before? We will not put ourselves in the place of the rat in the box. And we will not put ourselves in the place of the Pavlovian dog. We misidentify ourselves with the experimenter. But the actual condition of African people at this point is that of the Pavlovian dog and the Skinnerian rat, with others being at the controls and manipulating rewards and punishments and what we call negative reinforcements as a way of controlling our behavior. And when we talk about behavior in psychology, we not only talk about movement, but mental behavior as well, thinking in certain ways, seeing in certain ways, experiencing the world in certain ways. We include that too under behavior when we talk about behavior. And there are three fundamental ways you see of maintaining behavior in a conditioning situation: rewards, and then what we call positive reinforcement. Then you have negative reinforcement, which isn't the same as punishment. It's a situation where you release a person from a painful situation on the condition that they behave in a particular way. So in a sense, you put them in a painful situation. You say, well, I'll let you out of this if you do this. Or if they're in a painful situation, you say, well, I'll remove this situation if you behave in this way. This is what we call negative reinforcement. You see, a release from a negative situation, which is a form of reward. So I will release you from the ghetto if you say, I am an American and I love it. There is no racism. I don't feel dominated. Individualism is the highest ideology in the world. Okay, we'll give you a little extra pennies and you can live in a nice house. Get yourself a VCR and look at movies. And then those who belong to the underclass, we just can't change them. They, they're in the payment situation. They look like they even like it there. So for those, we have to administer what? Punishment. You see. But what do all of these have in common? Social control. Control. You see, so those of us who are being rewarded by the American system doesn't mean that we are any more out of the control of Europeans than those of us who are in the prisons. The game is the same. Social control, and until you decide as a people to end the capacity of whites to control your lives, we will always be subservient to them. And if one day we have to recognize that it becomes necessary to annihilate African people in order that the European stays in social control, then they will annihilate us. I don't care what kind of degrees you got and what kind of money you're making. The Jewish educated marched to the chambers with the uneducated. Yeah. You think you're going to hold up your degree when they march you to the chambers? I went to Harvard. Good, you go first. We'll give you that privilege. We'll put you in our most comfortable gas chamber.
Yeah, they said they sold out for VCRs, you know what I'm saying? Now that your children don't even know what a VCR is. Think about that. So if you sell out today for a PlayStation 5, your grandchildren ain't gonna know what a damn PlayStation 5 is. But anyway, the peace trade. Well, I don't know what's been in the news lately. If you send me something you want me to talk about in the news, I don't know if you want me to talk about that, but if you send, like, if anybody like wants to send me something or whatever, my email thing is in the description. Y'all could just email me. It is the Forecast Radio. I think it's the Forecast Radio at Gmail. So if anybody want to send me anything, you could definitely send me. It's in the description. So if you want me to talk about something in particular, you could definitely send it to me there. Oh yeah, damn, I forgot to play the other part, and it's only like 20 seconds, but it is what it is.
The reality is that America is not God, America is not the end of the earth, and it doesn't matter what the Americans think. In the final analysis, the truth will come out. While I advocated violent self-defense, because I don't think you can really have a defense against violent racists and against terrorists unless you're prepared to meet violence with violence.
Yeah, all facts, So I appreciate and shouts out to all y'all. And as always, man, we have got to start standing for something, or we're gonna keep falling for anything.